I'm going to take you very quickly through 53 years in 20 minutes. In 1967, we lived in Pasadena, California, in a place called the Flash Complex. It was so named because the underground newspaper in Pasadena, California was called The Flash of Pasadena, and it was published by a roommate of ours, David Leidig, who later became a roommate up here in San Francisco as well. And this is a picture of the Flash. It was originally known as Little Mississippi because it was the quarters for the servants of the gentry in Pasadena, who would primarily come from Mississippi and Louisiana. And prominent among them was Old Ted, who was in his 80s back in the 60s. And there's a little bit. I'll put these on the table afterwards so you can see them in the break. And it was also occupied by these crazy young men. This is the local park in Pasadena, and this is Alan on the swing, and another friend of ours. And we were young. We were having a good time. It was a time, though. Yes, it included 67 and 68. Those were very, very heavy times. When Martin Luther King was assassinated, the local Baptist Friendship Church broadcast his I Have a Dream speech loud enough that you could hear it throughout the neighborhood. What I remember was when Alan first moved into the Flash Complex, I visited him, and he was swabbing down this little cottage with DDT, trying to get rid of the cockroaches there. And the DDT, he told me, had an effect on him. He said, I had this dream last night, Martin, that I woke up in the middle of the night and there were these two giant cockroaches at the foot of my bed, and one of the cockroaches was saying to the other one, shall we eat him here or take him home with us? And the other cockroach replied, we better eat him here. If we take him home, the big guys will get him. Imaginative guy. I guess that's what DDT will do. Yeah, I also eventually, it took me many years, learned what manic depression is actually about. Because what happens is that the Alan that I knew and that I met was the manic Alan, and he was radiant. He would glow. He was so active. And it took many years before I realized that manic depressives are like that in their manic stage, but they hide the depressive side. And you don't find that because it tends to be private, and they learn how to hide the depressive side. So when you wonder where did they go, that's where it went. And Alan was kind of a manic depressive. Eventually, he eventually, in the last 5-6 years, got over that, but we're talking about decades.